that has
So.
all fixed up now, though. So we are starting off the draft here for game number 1.
All right, let's get to it. Anything out of the ordinary? The Orianna, the Azir, both been banned. I mean, Azir's really come back pretty strong since first stand in LCK as well. So getting very popular again. The 2 classics there will be taken out. Bot lane war. With the Karma and the Varus both banned. Your Ashe Seraphine, has been very, very prominent. The Yunara and Sivir also able to be exchanged, but probably more for second game of Fearless. We'll see here. With the Jarvan ban, that makes me think you are going something like Ashe Seraphine, something low mobility at the very least, because Jarvan obviously is so much more successful versus Ashe and Seraphine type champions that can't just get out of his ulti. And so Dignitas say, okay, fine, you ban that, then we will snatch up the Seraphine. However, there are more than just Ezreal Karma you can play into Ashe Seraphine. Nautilus lanes.
Das Freaky Pyro bei den Favorites sollten. Aber wer weiß schon. Wer weiß schon, was da abgeht in diesem Scheiß-Game hier. Kotze gegen Kotze, Bro.
Yeah, I agree. It can be a very, very strong answer. Finally, it feels like people have fully adapted to the season changes and moved into the full Enchanter meta. I remember we were talking about this even in preseason. Ever since the World Quest, I was kind of predicting it was going to be an Enchanter meta, and now in Pro, the top 4 most played champions this split are Nami, Seraphine.
LCS mit den anderen vergleichen? Nö. Relativ ähnlich. Relativ ähnlich, aber die Meta ist immer dieselbe, weißt du? Winning Botlane, damit du Drakes bekommst, weil Drakes sind OP.
Kind of the more conservative option here, and expecting that we'll probably get jungle for Dignitas here, otherwise that's going to get banned out quite a bit.
And the Nami was nerfed a bit on this patch, so it'll be a little bit less,
Warte, Liquid ist auf Secret Phase, warte, Liquid ist auf Phase 4 gegangen?
Is of course the extra vision that it gives you early on with the hawk shot. So even though
Oder was?
Dignitas, XU has to play into a Xin, which is a very strong, duelist champion and a worthy first pick jungle champion, it's fine when you have hawk shot and you
What the fuck?
And Skarner, this is another champion that I think has previously been underrated.
Was heißt denn Secret Phase? Einfach nochmal eine extra, mit der man, also die man nicht sieht, oder von der man nicht wusste, dass sie ist, oder was?
Hombach had a really, really good Skarner, and he apparently had also been terrorizing scrims with it. This champion, now you build it full tank. There were some like bruiser.
Die ist nur mehr gar nicht, warte, ich will die Reaktion hören. Warte, ich will die Reaktion hören.
Pick up our seeds, and we're dropping in 3, 2, 1.
Make sure he doesn't get clipped by. You got this push. Is available. Going pop the true shot. Did he lose the true shot? We can live through this AoE for just a moment when the slam comes down. 1% come out. Can the boss go down? Does Liquid have the damage? Lives in bubble. Is there lives in bubble? Where's the achievement? Wait, what happened? No way. Is there a secret phase? Oh my god. No way. Why are they casting reintegration? Wait, what happens? Let's go. What is going on? Did they win? What happened? No way. They're stunned. Look at this. Half the raid is stunned. It's a Dark Archangel. They have a lantern still. They're gathering in it. What is happening? What happened? Look at their shawlings from the well. There is splinters. What are we even seeing? Wait, what? It's important.
What the fuck? Wie cool. Cool.
And Ambessa going to be targeted here for Photon and potential flex to jungle, but mostly it is played top lane still these days.
Das heißt, das Race dauert noch mal ein paar Tage, oder was?
Whittle down on some extra carry power because they see like.
Oder was?
You got all of your team fight, except you probably want a lot more damage, or at least a little bit more damage in there. And so they carry ones at the moment. I kind of like both the Cassio and the Ambessa bans with the recent Cassio buffs especially. So good little protection bans here as well for the possible Annie lock-in. All right.
I hate Annie blind.
Well, so to me, also Annie into Ashe, Seraphine, Skarner is kind of hard because the Annie, you have to get this like explosive engage, and Skarner's very, very beefy and hard to get through. He can put a lot of threat back towards you. Plus, if you aren't successful, Seraphine helps sustain the team through the team fight as well. So I foresee this Annie having a difficult time, and especially if you get outranged in your lane phase, it can be really rough.
Well, and it's not even like you have to go weird to actually get a counter pick into Annie. Annie struggles into almost every.
Und anscheinend Bugs, wenn ihr bei 0,0,0 kommt.
Very, very difficult. The answer here.
Annie Mitte. Annie Blind Pick. Geht. Also dieser Draft von Ding, das ist so OP, by the way. Der Draft hier ist so fucking broke, ne?
Zin charges in, you just get walled off. That can be difficult. Expecting just, yeah, okay, Renekton. It's probably going to be like Gnar Renekton top.
Yeah, I mean, they just want a stable game. Their team fight is crazy. They're just going to ball up Death Ball comp here. So Shopify, they're going to need to get some advantages early on. They're going to need to create some gold leads for themselves. Because if you just let the game go very controlled, then this Dignitas squad are going to have an easy time just grouping up at objectives and trying to force you to, you know, front to back.
The expected picks here.
Ja, Dignitas kann, glaube ich, tatsächlich nicht würde ich verlieren, oder? Der Draft ist deutlich besser.
On the Shopify side, but do have some concerns about how effective this Annie is going to be. When Annie falls behind, you could be so useless. I do think, you know, the early laning phase is going to be a lot easier against Anivia than it is against champions like Victor that can just be constantly poking you down and pushing you in. But Anivia obviously going to scale really well and have some strong interactions, you know, against the Annie, but also against champions like Xin Zhao later, and really a good combo here with the Skarner. So I feel like I'm preferring what Dignitas has drafted quite a lot.
Ja, agreed. Mag den Dignitas Draft deutlich mehr.
I also am kind of on that side. That being said, Gnar into Renekton can kind of turn games around. If the Gnar gets ahead, you can have you know, lots of side lane threat, and then all of a sudden you have a few more options of how you want to play the mid game. If you do have a really good like split push threat, and if your lanes other lanes also start out successfully, but I foresee that being difficult. So kind of preferring the Dignitas side too.
Sometimes the best strategy is just to keep things simple here. Dignitas and Shopify kicking off their spring split here in the LCS. Final game of the MasterCard opening weekend here for spring split, and both teams looking to get off on the right foot. Shopify winless, not only in series in lock-in, but didn't get a single game, so still looking to get on the table this year.
Well, first step first then, Azel. They got to win one game. That's the goal for now. Let's take a look here, though. Early wards in Dignitas' efforts to have a controlled early game. They get the defensive Fey Lights early, but Shopify do get a ward over on blue buff, so they will be able to surmise the bottom side start of XU. Skarner, though, a lot of times just starts on Raptors anyways, because you annihilate the Raptors. It's a really easy camp. For Skarner with all of your free AoE that you do get, and it's going to be kind of interesting.
Ja, ich mag Skarner wieder.
Top side though, and so this Ashe Seraphine lane is going to have to rely on Hawkshot and themselves kind of tracking this Xin to avoid the threat.
And so these were the average power rankings. It was 3.42 was the aggregate power rankings across all the talent. Kangas is getting his face in here because Kangas power ranked them first. The most wrong power rankings prediction of all time is what we're calling it. Power ranking them first and never getting a win. I don't know if anyone's been that wrong before, but Kangas managed it. And, you know, it was definitely a disappointing split for Shopify. But, of course, you know, all jokes aside, we mostly thought they would be a solid middle-of-the-pack team.
Yeah.
And, you know, it just did not pan out for them. So expectations still pretty high here for Shopify, and we'll see if they can turn things around.
All right, so the Hawkshot reveals, guess what? That Xin is probably invading you because we just saw he only took his Raptor camp. So even with that Hawkshot not hitting the Xin, they still know that Contracts has been over there counter jungling at least the blue buff, and you assume the Gromp as well.
And this was the quote from Palafox, you know, getting interviewed after winning the last grudge match. He says, hey, with Shopify, we got a little bit of beef, so it is a grudge match.
Ja, wie viel CS wird die Annie down gehen, Guys? Und wie viel Damage wird sie machen gegen Renekton, Skarner, Anivia, by the way?
Hey, I always feel like when you're playing against
Wie soll das funktionieren? Was haben sie sich vorgestellt?
You want to, you know, really impress them. So when you're playing against your former teammates and friends who you got replaced on, you got to show out.
And we're going to have contact in the jungle as XU is found by Contracts, but he can just slide his way out. And I definitely agree. I'm also just happy that he admitted it. You know, a lot of times it's really hard to get players to be like, yeah, there is something behind this. There is a grudge. But he's like, yeah, it's definitely there. XU though.
XU could be in a bit of trouble. Might have to burn the flash. Is going to be able to avoid the bubble.
Okay.
Trading heavily with Zinni. He does still have his passive available as Ignar and FBI.
Gehen die hier rein?
Shopify getting corralled a little bit here.
Oh mein Gott.
Flash forward. They're looking to burst.
Oh mein Gott. Oh mein Gott.
Fight for it. Doesn't have any.
Schöner Flash von Zinni.
Get something back here though. Good engage from.
Schöner Flash von ihm.
Grab themselves first blood and they will grab the scuttle.
Those are the exact types of.
Also wenn du Skarner als Tank Jungle, weil er sehr viel Damage macht noch.
Like with this Shopify draft that they're going for, and Zinni, even though he was low, he either follows the team call or he says, I'm doing it, and we're gonna make a first blood play right here. Flash burned for Annie, and they do get the first blood, plus they get the crab afterwards. And again, he gets chunked down, but Palfox is also very low and he doesn't have much mana. So he says, fine, I'm going for it. FBI, look at his position. He was all the way down there going back to lane. And so I think it's just a good, killer instinct there from Shopify to be able to go grab first blood and actually, yeah, and the crab as well.
Any diff, yep.
I mean, it's nice to just see that they fully committed to it. Instantly when Zinni flashes in, Contracts is there following up on him. Those are the kind of things you want to see when you're going to play a comp that can go for some of these snap engages. You got to be on the same page or it's going to fall flat.
Yeah, it's one of the things we were going to have our magnifying glass on for Shopify this split is how well they can work with Zinni, integrate Zinni into the team, and see about his individual performance as well. Now, you just spent your flash for the team play, though. You didn't get that kill, and now you have to play with no flash versus Anivia in mid. So he's going to do his best to keep up with the CS while getting pushed under tower here by Palfox and harassed a little bit. But as soon as he gets his bear, then you can also, go for bear on wave plays if you really want to, and that can help you get push out and buy or roam timers as well.
Yeah, I just like that Palfox is trading so heavily. It's really nice when you can use your passive effectively in lane, right? You're just constantly forcing them to take trades. At this point in the game, and Annie cannot kill you by herself, and they're going to look for...
Was heißt 100% Dark gehen?
Just TPing back in. He's going to get the bad news. They are there.
Dass sie nicht on Stream zeigen, oder was? Guter Dive. Guter Dive. Oh mein Gott, er ist da gestorben, Bro, aber Photon hätte er noch tanken können.
Oh, honestly,
Jesus.
I mean, obviously it was miscalculated there because XU could have dropped that last tower shot instead. Didn't think it was going to be quite that much all heated up. And the flashes did cause a little bit of extra delay. But as you say, a lot of the wave value here is lost for Fudge. So still pretty big advantage, as well as getting assisted kill.
Actually insane dass sie den gedived haben, by the way.
Money there too.
No cap.
Meanwhile, Zinni held onto his bear. He goes back for another purchase as well. Dragon picked up in the aftermath there for Shopify by contract. So the early game going pretty decently.
Also ist was passiert, aber das ist nicht scheiße. Also warte, juckt die das mehr als dann halt der Stream-Content oder was? Check ich nicht.
From Dignitas's ball comp to be able to group up and try and force you into fights that you don't want to take.
Yeah, absolutely will. I mean, Photon got 2 plates. They deny a wave, so he's up 8 CS right now, but the wave is grouped and pushing towards him. It's good that Contracts was able to get the Dragon back, as you're saying. Things pretty even overall. Barely any gold separating the two teams, and it is just kind of that slight advantage on the top side for the advantage that Seos has down in that bottom lane, as he was the recipient of the first blood down through that bot side skirmish.
50-50 entscheiding.
Let's see here. Skarner approaching level 6 possible play, but the flash from Zinni still on cooldown, so there's going to be a little bit of overlap. XU can get a couple more camps off his blue side, and then maybe they could try and punish Palfox, but Palfox has done a good, Zinni has done a good job during his flash cooldown thus far, not exposing himself, and so if he just waits out a little bit more of that danger zone, then he'll be able to, react to a Skarner gank if they do try and pull one towards mid, which, Anivia and Skarner, if you have flash, you are so much more safe. And you're, whoa, okay.
That was close.
Yeah, that one kind of blew right by, but looking for an
oh mein Gott.
burst here. Nice wall.
Eine Sekunde, er ist tot, oder nicht? Nee, er ist nicht tot.
Yeah, that is really nicely placed.
Annie ist sehr useful.
Just had him locked in that corner. And that's the problem with all these kind of like lower range champions into Anivia is you walk up, you just get walled off, you're slowed up by the Glacial Storm, and you can take these types of trades. He is forced at the end of the day to use the Tibbers, has no TP, so he's going to lose, at least a couple minions here. Maybe not much. Maybe it's just going to be that melee minion at the end of the day because it is a full HP cannon to tank that up. But Palafox gets the push, is able to reset, and is going for the more kind of new age build, skipping tier, and you just go Roa into Leandries is what most people go for these days.
And meanwhile, top side, that might be where this Skarner ult actually goes. Fudge again, still no flash. He is getting close to Mega.
Was macht ihr da?
Yeah, this could be risky. He's about to Mega out. They're going to look.
Was machen die da?
They might be in a lot of trouble here. He's going to go Mega. Can they finish him off? The Impale comes down.
Was machen die da?
The damage the Gnar into the wall. Exu
Was?
taken out. Photon tanks the tower shot. Contracts
Was?
there, and even if he wasn't, it was going to be a tough dive with the Mega Gnar ready.
Yeah, Fudge gets his
Was?
revenge this time around. Mega's out. Contracts is there for.
Was war das?
That's going to be the grubs as well. So.
Der Nah war auf 90 ragebar.
Zinni right in the face of Palafox. He doesn't have his Tibbers, but trading fairly aggressively anyway.
Hä?
Yeah, doing a good job trading there. 3 deaths already for Exu, only 9 minutes in. Has been kind of, getting picked on in a few of these fights. You can see the Renekton TPing back out towards topside. So they will stop the full grubs from being taken. Contract's just going to grab one and back off, and we'll be pretty happy with that. But Photon maintains a slight gold lead up on
What the fuck?
side, but Fudge
I mean, es ist immer noch winning, aber das
at this
ist...
point after that counter game came through from Contract.
Ich sag nix.
Yeah, that feels really, really good for him. Was able to.
Also Exu ist, okay, ich sag's jetzt.
Here's another look at it again. Contracts.
Exu ist wahrscheinlich ein Top 5 Worst Jungler of all time in Pro Play. Ich hab's gesagt. Und ich stehe dazu. Ich stehe dazu. Der Typ ist, also.
Kinda rough there.
Top 5 of all time.
Just kind of firing that one off. He's like, yeah, what are we? We're not checking. We're not thinking about that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I still feel like it would have been close even without the jungler there.
With just Mega even.
With Contract there, obviously there was no way it was ever going to work. But with just Mega, I don't know. It was going to be dicey. And Fudge now in a comfortable spot, gets the Gnar into the wall, hits the wall up, hits the boulder toss, and
Ob das jetzt, guck mal, da ist die Sache. So jemand wie der, ich würde einfach sagen, das ist der schlechteste Spieler aller Zeiten, aber das könnte jetzt legit einfach, guck mal, der könnte zum Beispiel einfach ein Match fixen. Ich schwöre, der könnte Millionär werden in der LCS. Indem er einfach anfängt zu Matchfixen, weil er ist einfach so fucking horrible.
They hadn't seen Contracts for like over a minute, almost
So
a minute
fucking
and a half.
insane.
And seeing him, he was just full clearing his jungle, and so
Object permanence.
that's a long
Doesn't
time.
exist. You haven't seen him.
If you haven't tracked him in that long, definitely a bit
Krank.
risky to just go for the dive here. But
Krank.
regardless, Shopify with that extra advantage here, getting a little bit dangerous up
So
there.
fucking boosted.
It's still
Der Typ,
it's
ist
still
so
okay.
fucking
All these
boosted.
gold leads are fairly close, so there's no like meaningful item differences or anything, but it does kind of take away a lot of the work that Photon had been doing.
Yeah, it absolutely does. Palafox, though, building a nice advantage for himself, helping to keep the gold close with that individual 500 gold advantage that he has built. As Photon going in aggressive, going to pop the Dominus here, but Fudge is already in Mega, and feels like he should just be able to walk this one off. Didn't have his Gnar available to actually trade out the ultis, but that will be next time he goes Mega. Palafox getting hit down pretty low, but Dignitas looking to try to challenge here at the Dragon.
Was zur Hölle?
Ignar trying to CC them up. It's a nice 2-man impale there from
Okay.
Exu.
Ultige,
Grabs
okay.
the Dragon for himself. Palafox is on the run on one side. Exu looks like he's going to fall
Okay.
down there by Contract. FBI is standing.
FBI macht guten Damage, Palafox im Eck. Hat Zinni Damage? Yep.
Pop the egg here from Palafox.
Junge, nee, Mann.
Try to finish him off. Contract's getting involved. Will charge on in and knock down Palafox. As FBI still fighting on the side, but Zinni
Das ist
here
krank.
with the stun charged up, and FBI is gonna get knocked down. It's
Das ist
double
krank.
for Zinni. It's 7-1 for Shopify as they fully take control.
All right, Zinni is doing so much work here.
0-4 in 12 Minuten als Skarner. Das ist... muss ein Rekord sein eigentlich schon fast, sage ich.
Takes Palafox down into an egg. He actually saves his stun and then leaves.
Das muss ein Rekord sein.
Just finish off. Saves his stun. Wraps around to get 2 more. The kind of silver lining for Dignitas is that Exu did walk back to go grab the dragon, so at least they got that. But look at this side of your screen here. As Zinni is able to stun up Palafox and chase him down, he then puts him into egg, and then he charges up his stun on the egg, then immediately just walks straight down here to clean up the extra kill, chase down FBI, who is dodging out the bubble from Seos, and allows Shopify the extra double.
Man konnte das ja nicht. Ah, Langeweile.
No, even though you got the Mountain Dragon for Dignitas, losing out a bit more gold, and that starts to get very dangerous. Zinni here does have his Malignance, although looks like Exu and Palfox are the ones that are forced to run.
Yeah, they're going to try to run here. Exu gets interrupted on the Ishtal's impact. He doesn't have anywhere to go. We'll see if he's
Digga, die fighten schon wieder. Ich schwöre. Okay, GG, was machen die? Na schön, was machen die?
For that dragon fight, it was a 500 gold lead. Now it's 3K.
I mean, that was a really bad time for Invade right there for Dignitas.
Digga, mach wenigstens 0-2, bitte. Wenn du schon so vieles... Dann mach 0-2, Brother, mach 0-2.
And the ultimate grudge match, Bowl 2, seems to be going the opposite way this time around. Contracts, as we talked about here, Zinni chases them into the river, and because the bottom lane can move up
No
first,
joke.
an easy couple of extra kills. They take down their former mid laner, Azael. Palafox gets scrambled.
Das ist so krank. Was hier scheint. Habe ich euch mal wieder zu viel versprochen mit Battle der Bastarde? Nee, habe ich nicht, ne? Das ist also. Das ist wirklich mal wieder schamlos ohne Ende, ohne Witz. Schamlos.
Everyone across the board here for Shopify has their first item completed. We're still waiting for that from FBI, but the Kraken now is done as Contract's going to go back and we'll eventually get the 3 grubs. I feel like that's so rare to have them so disjointed like that. You know, to have one really early taken and the other team never gets one back to stop the 3.
Digga. Nee.
Grubs. the leftovers.
Ich sag's euch, also so ein Exu bei mir, der wäre nach einer Woche gebencht, 100%. Das ist ja nicht tragbar. Das ist ja einfach nicht tragbar. Hast du ein verficktes Türkei-Drücker an? Bist du dumm? Ich nicht. Das ist einfach nur Sonderedition.
Sure.
Bist du dumm?
Okay, I will say though, man, Zinni, is this the Shopify that was promised, Azael, with the Zinni signing? Because they are looking a lot better this time around.
They really are. They're looking much better.
So, wenn ich so auschecke, aber es ist
The ceiling of a lot of these players is quite high, and if Zinni can be unlocked, if the team is looking coordinated, they definitely have the potential to be strong. B-Boy last year, I think, impressed a lot of people with his individual play, you know, and a lot of these Shopify players just did not have a good split, so we'll see if they can keep it going in this.
Ich würde auch 5 Tode schaffen, ja.
Really strong, you know, contract where he's on a fighter jungler. You know, it's a very advantageous 1v1 matchup for Xin. Conqueror Xin, you know, previously when Skarner was even at its Skarner's heights was one of the answers where, like, yeah, you can build it into the Skarner. The team play for Skarner is still there, but let's take a look at this Rift Herald start because Contracts is level 11 on the Xin with a very healthy lead for himself now. And Photon?
Yeah, Photon looking for the 1v1, has the Stride Breaker, and Fudge has no Mega in sight. Burns down.
Boah, das könnte wieder so ein Game werden, ne?
Easy solo kill for Photon and a little bit of life for Dignitas in this game.
Yeah, Renekton ultimate.
Das könnte wieder so ein Game werden wie gestern.
And just kind of walks him down there.
Spikes hinein.
Stop for them. Looks like it's still going to be Rift Herald for Shopify, despite Fudge going down and Photon getting an extra turret.
Macht eigentlich so, also gestern hat er, aber
I mean, this could have some.
Der Comp ist noch besser, no joke, der Comp ist noch besser. Ich glaube, Exo wurde outfilled, ja, legit. Photon war bei Vitality in der LEC.
Shopify, the Annie initiation here with Nami ult follow-ups too are very, very scary, and with the gold that the team overall has gotten, here we go though.
Yeah, Exu looking for it, he flashes for it, but Sales flashes away, the arrow goes wide, the Encore comes through, but it's just the Contracts who has the Crescent Guard up and available, V-Boy pushing forward with the big one, Exu getting low. The Palfox will be there to stop the chase coming through, but still, that fight is such a advantage. It's almost
Dieser Typ, ey.
for Shopify, and Dignitas is going
Reicht.
to try to trade topside for plates.
Yeah, they did at least trade Flash for both B-Void and Seos Flash in the skirmish. And Photon, you know, continues trying to split push on the other side of the map. But as you say, Dragon is going to go to Shopify. They will get the Hex Drake. They will, you know, continue stacking here.
Nice little wall there in onto B-Void, but going to be able to... Oh, no, I thought he was going to be able to sidestep the stun. Still actually tagged him with the very edge, and Palfox showing the power of the Anivia here. Is still scaling up. Does have an extra mana crystal, so maybe not going to be going in for the expected Leandries.
Honestly, too, like, when you group up this team and we start to see the power of the Seraphine team fight, Anivia controlling space, you know, you get your Rod of Ages stacked, then they can really bring the extra power to the actual team fight. But
Annie ist halt useless auch, ne? Irgendwann.
the long push on the side lanes.
Irgendwann wird die Annie useless sein, aber B-Boy ist auch gut im Game. Und B-Boy hat tatsächlich diesen Teamfighting gehabt. Diesen bis gutes Teamfighting gehabt immer, also. Mal sehen.
So you always have a chance, you know, if you can actually get that first bit of CC down on a squishy target, they can just die 100-0. Like Annie, no problem. If you hit Annie with an arrow, Encore there, then the Impale, you know, there's so much CC that can come through to be able to finish them off. So definitely in this game with a chance, only down 2K now, was up to about 3,000 a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, I think that is going to be the key, though. Can they hit their Ash Arrows and can they hit their, you know, follow-up CC here? FBI going to have to control some vision so that he can fire his Ash Arrow from Fog of War, and that gives you a really good chance for the Skarner and Seraphine follow-up. Otherwise, Skarner and Seraphine are a little slow-moving, and so we did see, like, oh, Annie can just run the Skarner out of the E or something like that. And then you still have to flash the Seraphine bounce off the top of the Skarner, but we'll see about the next team fight setup. Still very, very competitive here.
Yeah, there's
okay.
Trying to go for contract.
Was? Lass mal. Okay, Zinni ist tot. Du hast actually nochmal fighten, oder? Ich meine, das war worth it.
And there's
That's well worth it.
There's no real objective to go over. That's just a fight in the river. There's no dragon or anything. I mean, you could say, yeah, you know, Baron's coming up, but it's so early. It's crazy to
rushing
a Baron or anything like that.
Aber
the 1-for-1 is gonna
no joke.
It's like a couple extra.
Ich brauche mal das Replay, weil ich bin mir ziemlich sicher, dieser Skarner ist natürlich der schlechteste Spieler der Welt. Ich brauche jetzt das Replay kurz.
When that does come up, where his teleport is going to be coming back up. So Fudge,
for fuck's sake,
and try to answer there. They could try to utilize Palpatine his TP to maybe answer the Gnar in the side lane, but Nivea always can be a little bit difficult to play through these side lanes. You are very slow moving, as you said.
Junge.
Yeah, it's kind of the. I mean, it's a drawback of just fighting when there's not a lot to take afterwards, because even though like you have health advantages and kind of position afterwards. I mean, at the end of the day, it was 1-for-1, so that's about even, and then you can't really do a whole lot else. So we'll see if Fudge is like safe in the side lanes, because it is.
So
he may not have teleport, but he's got 2 items, so maybe he could just get the pressure and then walk over anyway.
Yeah, he's going to be quite strong. I'm interested to see if it's going to be just like a Malignance or if it's going to be an.
I don't know. Dignitas, glaube ich, sollte das Game gewinnen, immer noch ohne Spaß.
Halifax. So he does have the last chapter completed. Again, mostly these days I do see Leandris as the second item, so it's going to be going for a little bit of a different approach. Obviously, Malignant's really, really good. Your ult is down all the time. And I have seen people try to cook with Actualizer on more and more champions as that item keeps kind of getting buffed and made cheaper. But I don't feel like it would be the best on Anivia, so I'm kind of expecting the Malignance as Shopify moving towards top side. But
actually, man könnte meinen, er ist es nicht.
And we'll go in with the stalls impact, but Contract's pretty tanky, gonna get pulled in over towards the tower, but the aggro is not on to him until just now. He's gonna get charmed up, but the teleport's here from the Gnar. The fight will continue. Contract's walled in.
Holy fuck, die Wall von Anivia hält so lange, ne?
Will have to back off.
Krank.
And that was all with Photon pushing. You know, you've got the Renekton bomb side. You said teleport advantage. Guess what? Your teleport advantage is burned for nothing here. The Renekton's still splitting, so big win for Dignitas. And
ja, also Dignitas gewinnt dieses Game, glaube ich. So.
Skarner ult, and then you got Anivia walled off afterwards, so he doesn't die, but Shopify have just burned their teleport, and Renekton got a full push on the bottom side. That's up to a 2,000 individual gold lead for Photon now.
You're also kind of just seeing the power of a draft, right? Where it looks so funny to think about how competitive the mid jungle looks when you have a combined, 305 and a 313, and then on the other side it's a combined 08 and 2. And still, making it look even as the Malignance is now complete.
So, wie machen wir's? Renekton hat 2,5 Items, by the way. Und der Photon ist. Oh, wow.
And Ignar is just gone.
Wow.
From Zinni.
Impressive engage. Well played.
It doesn't matter because the fight is over before it ever truly started.
Welcome
Schön.
to the LCS city. That is the city that was promised.
Das war ein schöner Engage.
4-person just splatter right there, and the Seraphine instantly dies. That, I mean, that's gonna put them on soul point. That's a huge gold lead. That is the most critical play of the entire game right there. And Shopify are feeling great.
That was just a great angle. They did not have eyes on Zinni, and as they all group up here, they are spotted.
Yeah. Oh, it's so juicy. The W and ultimate combo right there. No, you can W flash. the live react Pip is.
Ob sie gerade ein A gelobt? Er ist Koreaner tatsächlich.
Production's cooking on.
Er ist Koreaner tatsächlich, also indirekt.
Sure, he's like, we're not hawkshotting, we're not checking anything, we're not checking where the Annie is.
I love this iteration so much more because sometimes, you know, they're like desynced and you have to be like, oh, what exact thing was he reacting to?
What was he mad about?
I love the picture-in-pictures during the exact time during the fight. That is, that was good. I like that.
Got to check those brushes. Did not track where the Annie is. You know, weren't able to hawkshot him out. Weren't able to use the blue trinkets that they have. So just didn't use any of the tools that they have to actually check these brushes, and they get punished big time for it. It's a 2,000 gold lead, and it is.
Oh yeah.
Soul.
Oh yeah. Und das ist erst Game 1, guys.
I would say it's probably the ones that most pros will tell you is the most highly prized. Very difficult to deal with, and
ask Cloud9 about that one.
Vivo ist super gut.
I love it. They meme on it themselves about it's like something like an 8% chance or something of pro teams that had lost with Hextech Soul, but we'll see. Still got to get the last.
Be the 8%.
Yeah, you got to get the last one as well. So it doesn't matter until you get the final dragon for your soul.
Exactly. So we'll see if they can get there. Still, Dignitas going to be having a decent shot with their composition. FBI now finishing up his third item. So keeping pace very comfortably with where B-Boy is. It really is just the big advantage in mid-jungle for Shopify. And on the other
Fast
side,
Level 17 auf Renekton. Holy
if Zinni can't find an
shit.
engage like that, I still think it's going to be really hard for the Zen and the Annie to find a great effect in this fight.
Wunderschönes Mikaels.
Mikaels there from Zeus, really well timed.
Sehr schön.
Doesn't panic, doesn't flash shield, anything. Just an easy Mikaels on the arrow.
Yeah, good reaction. The Mikaels cooldown still is significant, so I still like going for the shot here for FBI. Your Ash Arrow, pretty low cooldown, and you get a little bit of kind of overlap with the next one coming up, and then if you just fire it off immediately, maybe
Wieder im Aram.
or you can sneak attack somebody, but we'll see.
Die CS-Zahlen von den Midlanern sind, also für Annie ist es wahrscheinlich okay noch, aber mit Anivia nur so wenig CS.
Up at the tower. Nami wave does go down defensively, but it's just going to delay for one more wave.
Yeah, just going to be able to use to clearing out that wave. And yeah, I mean, you get the Mikaels cooldown, and you got to make them make the play, right? You know, because if he doesn't hit that perfect timing on the Mikaels, if you're already stunned, you can't do it. You have to press it.
Keine Name ist die 6 selbst Mikael sind. Du hast so ein kleines Window, so ein 0,5 Sekunden Window, in dem das funktioniert.
Photon, though, threatening on the side here does mean they will eventually move up, get down.
Du kannst quasi, bevor der CC kommt, kannst du Mikaels benutzen und dann funktioniert es.
We're pushing out the side lanes, both top and bot, so going to be able to, get a little bit of extra gold on their solo laners, but Dignitas do take away that mid lane tower, which might help for this next dragon coming up.
All right, position for this dragon. You need to get there really early, because if you let Dignitas have full vision coverage leading up to the dragon, your approach is incredibly difficult, and you get no chances for Zinni to pull off a play like last time. Of course, he also doesn't have his flash quite yet, so impossible to pull off the exact play from last time, but vision is also the first step.
Well, Drake fight, item spikes and even.
It's really big, and Photon right now is pushing top because he's very close to his third item. So he has a lot of gold. He wants to get this third item. This would be a very strong part of the game for him. Level 17 on the Renekton. Will have
item fertig?
Quest TP with the fat shield available, and I think he should have gold. He's sitting in.
Yep, Shojin fertig.
He is super
TP behind jetzt.
TP in immediately. Double TP's coming in, and contracts on the side. Surprises Ignar.
Digga, schaut euch Exio an. Ey.
Arrives with Mega ready. Photon is here to fight, but the fight is already done. The team has lost it before it even arrived.
Ey, das ist...
Shopify clean up the bot lane, no problem, and now we're heading straight up to the Baron.
Ey, das ist zu viel. Dieser Typ ist zu viel des Guten. Ohne Spaß. Ey, Alter.
side, and they take out the squishy heart of this
Ey, der fährt da. Der ist ihm scheißegal, was der Team hat. Der fährt da einfach rein. Alter. Das ist der schlechteste Spieler, den ich heute gesehen habe. Das ist 100% der schlechteste Spieler, den ich heute gesehen habe. 100%. 100%. Ey, Schaut euch bitte diesen Scan an jetzt im Replay. Oh mein Gott, schaut euch bitte den Replay an. Digga, der fährt einfach ohne Gnade rein. Schaut euch an. Keinerlei Regret. Nee.
There goes all the value. Dignitas were just so split up. That was like 3 members chasing, some still teleporting.
Alter,
like, you don't even
ist dieser Typ scheiße. Oh mein Gott. Oh mein Gott, er ist so Ei.
On the other side, so now it becomes a bit of a nightmare here, trying to get in and deal with those slows. Can Dignitas close the gap?
Insanity.
And take down B-Boy. They're going to look for it. The E-Shell's impact coming through, though. You get stunned up.
Ey, der Bro macht einen neuen Rekord hier, ne?
To keep him alive, but Contracts is pushing through mid, and the kiting is just so difficult to deal with.
Yeah, with Hex Soul, you can just toy with them.
Wenn uns jetzt verplayen, genau. Der ist Level zu das. Geiler W für B-Boy, um den Sheet zu procken, by the way. Wow. GG, ihr pathetic fucks. GG, ihr pathetic fucks. Was macht der? Es funktioniert noch. Ich kann nicht mehr. Oh mein Gott, Hilfe. Ey, Junge.
As the tier 2 tower does fall, and it feels like Shopify have all but wrapped up this game.
They certainly have. The siege actually continues with the Baron buff here. They're going to work in on it. WoW Contracts goes to heal off the Krugs. The bubble hits into the combo.
XU flashes forward, looks for the E-Shell's impact, trying to finish off. Zinni will be able to get one, and Photon lives, but XU will fall in the attempt. Palafox is back up, but look at the Gnar pushing up topside. Shopify extending the
sein Flash am Anfang gemisst.
Extra power from all the Giga buffs here. Looks like it's going to be very difficult for Dignitas to stabilize it all in this thing. They're just getting
oh mein Gott, bitte schaut es. 1-7 ist noch möglich. Schaut sein Replay.
It's kind of dancing on him. And he's still got both summoner spells left to do it. He can continue dancing.
Yeah. Doesn't even have his upgraded shoes.
Bitte, schaut euch letztes Replay an. Wenn dieser Typ sein Flash misst.
Ridiculously strong. Mid jungle so far ahead as well here for Shopify. Contracts having a great game in these last couple of fights.
Oh mein Gott.
Being able to just get in and have
a
big effect in the backline.
Oh mein Gott. Oh mein Gott.
1000 gold lead. Doesn't really matter at this point.
Porsche check, auf gar keinen Fall kriegst du mich also auf gar keinen Fall. Setze ich mich hier gerade hin, das ist zu bad. Oh mein Gott, Hilfe.
Shopify starting out.
Alter. Die Porsche ist perfekt für NA um 1 Uhr morgens.
They did not win a single game in lock-in, and yet coming out very, very.
Ey, Junge, nee. Also der hat gerade sein Flash gemisst. Sein Flash aufs Ghana gemisst. Ich kann nicht mehr. Und dieses Game geht schon wieder 30 Minuten.
Going quite nicely for themselves. Some really decisive play is one of the biggest things.
Oh, es reicht.
Good indicator for the team where no hesitation from a lot of these Zinni plays on the Annie. Has been looking pretty snappy.
It's been a long time since they actually picked up their last game win. Shopify, last time they won was in playoffs last summer against Team Liquid. They were able to get a win there. But obviously, you know, didn't go to Worlds. That was a very long time ago. So been hungry for that win for quite some time now. And looking like they are on the verge of finally breaking that streak. Picking up a much needed win after a long
Ich kann nicht mehr, no joke.
Only one step left for them to do it. Close in on this base. You've got Baron as well as Elder coming in a couple minutes, so maybe they'll just go for a
Anivia ist OP immer noch.
Hextech Soul.
Aber Corki auch. Holy shit.
Or
Rockets
or
are looking more
heavy
like a heavy
artillery.
siege. They're gonna go
Schön
for
gespielt.
Zinni just goes in immediately. The encore there to try to peel from Ignar, but it doesn't matter. The Anivia gets cooked. XU stunned against the wall. XU will fall as well. Just want to end the game. Fudge is chasing in onto FBI. B-Boy flashes forward. The boss bomb almost gets it, but the auto attack does. Photon fighting back, but he can do nothing. Tibbers is tanking up the tower. Fudge is
Das ist zu insane. Das ist legit zu insane. Oh mein Gott. Das ist zu insane, bitte reicht.
Oof. All right, the question is, B-Boy or contracts or
Alter.
Like, it actually is pretty hard to choose player of the game this time around, but Shopify are gonna get their long-awaited win.
Zinni flashing in again, finding another engage on the steps of the fountain. Shopify 24 to 5.
Alter.
Nearly a 50.
Ich hab lange nicht mehr, ich hab lange nicht mehr so gelacht, ohne Spaß. Der ist 100% der schlechteste Spieler der Welt.
Zinni play.
Wow.